Last time I get the atomic fire sauce. I'm not going through that again. No way. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you are on this beautiful earth of ours. It is a Friday and it's time for the Classic Guitar Rock Daily Update. I'm your friend Jeremy, and a few things in the headlines, ripped from the headlines today. Aerosmith. Okay, I don't mean to sound negative, but it's like this is turning into a daily health update or non-health update. Am I the only one that feels that way? Anyways, Aerosmith, it turns out they're postponing all the dates. Originally, they were just postponing a few weeks worth of dates, but now they are moving all of their dates until 2024 due to Steven Tyler's ongoing health issues. Quote, unfortunately, Steven's vocal injury is more serious than initially thought. His doctor has confirmed that in addition to the damage to his vocal cords, he fractured his larynx, which requires ongoing care. He is receiving the best medical treatment available to ensure his recovery is swift, but given the nature of a fracture, he is being told patience is essential. So, delay for Aerosmith. Also related to the news, when U2 launches their Las Vegas residency tonight, kicks off tonight, one band member will not be there, drummer Larry Mullen Jr. The good news is pretty much any high school drummer could fill in for him. Oh, that's not nice. So I'm teasing, kind of. Even though he's been with U2 since the band's inception, Mullen will not be behind the kit when the legendary Irish rockers christen the state-of-the-art MSG Sphere venue. Larry says, quote, I have lots of bits falling off. Elbows, knees, necks. And so during COVID, when we weren't playing, I got a chance to have a look at some of these things. He says, so I'd like to take some time, which I will do to get myself healed. So he wasn't specific about what all is ailing him, but apparently he's got some nagging health issues. Let me just say this about U2. I know I'm kind of joking. U2 is an example of a band that the sum is definitely, or you know what I'm trying to say? The sum is more than the total of the part, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? Drum parts, very simple. Edge's guitar work, very simple. Technically, if you're going to break it down, yet they have crafted some of the most majestic music. You listen to Joshua Tree album, and whether you're a big U2 fan or not, and I'm a U2 fan, it's a beautiful album. It's a beautiful album, and it just goes to show you that beautiful music is not, it's not necessary for you to be technical geniuses to craft beautiful music. And I think U2's an example of that. So yeah, I'm a big fan, but if you break down the individual pieces, Larry Mullen is definitely not a Neil Peart when it comes to the drums. He plays what he needs to play, and it works. Okay, this is not really health related, but kind of in the same vein. Alice Cooper told writer Andrew Daly that he is determined to buck the current trend of rock stars retiring. He says, quote, a farewell tour hasn't crossed my mind at all. He continues, and it's weird because all my friends are retiring. Gene Simmons said to me recently, look, I'm done. Come December, it's over. And I go, well, you know, these farewell tours go on for years and years now, right? But Gene was very serious and said, not this time. I promise you that come December, Kiss as we know it is absolutely done. He continues, the guys in Aerosmith are saying the same thing, as are many other bands from my era. This is Foreigner's farewell tour as well. But none of that occurs to me. It's never been a thought that I'd retire. I feel great, and the band sounds great. I'm 75, but I'll be up there at 90 if I'm still in good enough shape. So Alice not going anywhere soon. Now, Alice has a little different scenario than a lot of these bands because Alice is he's kind of a solo artist, right? So he can have a revolving cast of characters around him, as he does. And so many great musicians have played through the Alice Cooper organization. And I guess I've never seen Alice Cooper live. One of the acts I'm a huge Alice Cooper fan. I really like him. But he kind of has a revolving cast of younger players in and out of his band. They seem like they have a great time. So it's a little different than a band of, say, 5 guys that have played together for 50 years, where one of them dies and then another one has hip replacement and that sort of thing. So it's a little different for Alice because he's kind of a solo act, but he's committed to, he's going to keep doing it as long as he can. So more power to you, Alice. Lastly, a new album by the late Bernie Marsden. Bernie Marsden, most well known for his work with Whitesnake. He just recently passed away, but he had recorded an album before he passed. Working Man is a collection of original material, his first since 2018's Tales of Tone and Volume, and was finished in June of this year, with Marsden overseeing the artwork, sequencing, and mastering of the album in the weeks before his death in late August. So this album will be released on November 24th. Marsden, a lot of folks don't know this, Marsden was also in UFO before Michael Schenker. When you hear, UFO, you usually think of Schenker. But Bernie was actually the guitarist before Michael came in. And if you haven't had a chance to go back and listen to some of Bernie's solo stuff, if you're a fan of the Whitesnake, I think you'd like Bernie's stuff. Bernie's a great, in that vein, Les Paul, Marshall, Thin Lizzy, classic rock tone. You'll dig Bernie. And he's actually an underrated singer. He's a good singer. He's got it's a very earnest, I wouldn't say it's a super powerful voice like a David Coverdale. And I recently read an interview with Graham Bonnet, where Graham Bonnet is talking about how much he loved Bernie's voice. And people don't think of Bernie as a singer. They think of him as a guitarist. But he actually does have a great voice. So watch out for Working Man, which is coming out in November, if you're a fan of Bernie Marsden or a fan of that Whitesnakian type music. I think you'd really like it. So guys, thank you so much for checking out the update. Thank you for listening to the podcast and following us on X, on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever you follow us. And as always, my invitation to you to subscribe to us on X. It's $1 a month and it means so much. Have a great weekend, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.